Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another Neki broadcast. Today I bring you lots of novelty. First of all, Diggy. I don't believe I've ever cast a game of Diggy's. He is quite an experienced player based on his playstyle, and on top of that, so new player with new moves, new strategies. On top of that, I have purchased a new microphone, so please do comment on the quality of the sound. I will just make this cast and upload it, and you guys can tell me basically what your opinion is about the new gear. There should be an improvement. I mean, that's the reason why I bought the microphone. You could see perhaps you've noticed I've enabled music as well. Also, I'm speaking in a lower voice simply because the microphone has a higher gain than usual. Let's see how this all plays out together. So let's play some Wesnoth here. I believe I did set this to the very beginning, and as you probably guessed already, it was a game between me and Diggy on Caves of the Basilisk. So let's see here. I'm going to do a full map, why not? And let's see how he recruited. I honestly do not remember the details of it. So what am I doing here? Okay, I play side turn. Oh, I must have clicked play turn. Anyway, so usually on this map you recruit a merman and you grab this village and you put a lot of pressure in the center. He's not choosing to do that because he wants a better army, I guess. Lots of spearmen, a cavalryman, a fencer, and yeah, it's a really strong defensive army. So he's probably thinking, even if something were to come here, I do have a mage, I do have magic attacks, and I am absolutely fine. Can't blame him for that. However, I am undead, and I need, in order to survive on this map, to make an absolutely mad rush on this village, and I need to make sure that the whole fight throughout the game happens on this left flank rather than on the right flank. Therefore, this is why I basically computed my moves in such a way that I don't die on the right flank, but my whole army is more or less funneled towards this village. This is why I abused a bit level zeros, right? This particular walking corpse can sit on this village and defend simply because my leader does not have magic, unlike the white mage here. This bat can take this village and then run by and try to be pesky on these villages, try to get behind enemy lines. This bat again grab this village and then again try to be pesky, give me vision at exactly what's coming at me, and then lots of core units. You might say, well, Neki, you spent too much on level 0 units. You might be right, but if you think about it, a ghost is 20 gold, whereas 2 bats, they sum up to 26, so the difference is not that large. Plus, I simply get so much more utility from a bat because it has 60%, right, defense, and it's just faster, and obviously I can be in 2 locations at once. Whereas with the ghost, it's kind of if you lose it, you feel so bad. Whereas with the bat, I can try to be take more risks. Anyway, so moving forward here, he should see in a second the fact that I am undead, and he should be very happy. I know I would. Undead basically has only one chance in the beginning, the initial rush. Put a lot of pressure, try to gain some sort of initiative, and then try to press that initiative. Once you lose the initiative, you are basically dead, simply because these calves, they can kill skeletons, they can kill adepts very easily, and they have so much more mobility. They can kill bats, They don't care. They are absolutely mad and out for blood. And I'm really curious what he recruited here. He has 25 gold. He can recruit absolutely anything he wants, and he goes with a heavy infantryman. I don't agree with that. I'm not sure of the traits of this heavy infantryman, but I don't agree with that. I believe that he should have prioritized mobility. But from another perspective, I kind of agree. Why? Because he has this white mage. So this white mage means that I can't really plow through his defenses on the first night. I might be able to get one village, I might be able to hold on to it for a while, but I will definitely not be getting the second village. This white mage is simply too scary. So based on that, he can heal this heavy infantryman. He can basically be a bit more bold when defending. So I would say it's fine. He just needs to survive here, and this can deal lots of damage. This can absolutely destroy my archers. And if you think about it, I do need to swarm archers to deal with these calves, 2 of them, but there will be more. I mean, I don't remember exactly, but I'm sure there will be more. I know I would recruit them a lot. Now, as you can see here, I'm trying to be pesky with this bat, and this is what this is going to be a recurring theme in my next cast, right? I am trying to, at this point, it's not like I can achieve much, right, with this bat, but if you think about it, it's it's basically baiting him into a bad position, right? There is here, you might say, oh neki, you could have just pushed this bat a bit forward here and then you would have been fine. Yes, I would have been fine if I would have put the bat on 514. Definitely I would have been fine. However, this bat is luring the spearmen and the cavalryman. They have a chance to go for a kill, and then this spearman is quick and he might say, oh, I can go around with the spearman. But if he does go for the bat, that means that my units will be right here in the village area, and basically my units will cut his army in half. He can't really go back with the spearman once I push my skeleton archer forward. He'll have to go around, right? He'll have to improvise. So his elegant, structured, planned defense won't work anymore. He would have to go around, he would have to be slower, he would have to be make compromises, improvise, right? So what best time to improvise than at night, right? So I love improvisation at night because, well, I'm undead, right? So from this perspective, he might get a material advantage here, but I will get a much stronger positional advantage. So from my perspective, this is yeah, I've gained 1 tile, but it's not gaining 1 tile, it's a trap. If you wish, there was a game versus Krogan, really interesting, where I set a similar trap, and I will try to cast that next. Krogan is much better than Diggy. He is basically a master at the game, so definitely will cast that particular game no matter what. Anyway, so yeah, that is the bat. So let's see what he does with that bat, and he is going for it, ladies and gentlemen. This is where the whole madness starts. As far as I remember, the whole game has been a complete madness. So he goes for the bat, hits once. If he hadn't hit at all, then probably he wouldn't have brought the spearman, but because he hit once, now it's his demise. He's going to go forward with the spearman. He's going to try to get the kill. Is he going to get it? He hits twice, which is bad for me, obviously, but it doesn't really matter because the bat has already served its purpose, has already accomplished its mission. So this is going to be a very odd positioning for Loyalist at night, and I am going to absolutely love it. However, okay, so he is bringing his units forward. This heavy regiment, intelligent, quick. It's really dangerous having him at night running around because he does not have the necessary hit points. Now, believe here he gave up on trying to do shenanigans with the spearman simply because he saw my walking corpse. He's going to simply shut the door to any kind of such sneaky plays. And as you can see, I'm immediately recruiting 2 skeleton archers. I mean, I had recruited them last turn, but if you look at it, I do have 1, 2, 3, 4 skeletons making their way through this enemyville. The reason why I'm recruiting skeletons first, well, they are slower adepts, they have a chance at being quick, and they can get there faster, they can catch up. Also, I do need these shields, because if I just march towards him with an army of dark adepts, he's just going to use all his melee units, and he's going to absolutely pulverize me, right? So I do need the shields first. It's slow, it's pedantic, but you do not have any other choice with Undead. I could have recruited a ghost, but this mage eats goats for breakfast, and so does any mage he might choose to recruit. Recruiting skeleton archers discourages him from recruiting mages, so yeah, building up those mage numbers really effective as Loyalist versus Undead. Anyway, let's see how I basically pushed my archer forward. I did not even care about the heavy infantryman. Why? Because as you can see here, I do have solid backup here. 2 skeleton archers coming, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units versus 1, 2, 3, 4 units. There is a cavalryman coming. It's out of range, but if he wants to reinforce quickly, he could only send cavalrymen, and cavalrymen are, during night time, they are vulnerable to skeleton archers. And this again might be a case of me saying, look, you want to... Oh, sorry, I've just hit my microphone. Everything should be fine. So, you want to get kills, you want material advantage, go for it. However, if you think about it, it's only 8-2. It's night, right? There is some bonus in terms of vulnerability stemming from the skeleton archer, right? It's vulnerable to impact. However, that shouldn't be that large, and plus this one with normal luck should hit 1 out of 2. And if he does go in, and if he does miss, these they don't deal any real damage. Plus he has to use 1 unit on the bat, right? Because that's why he's here. He's here for the bat, and I do have reinforcements coming. So yeah, I don't expect the skeleton archer to die at night. Even if he lives with 1 HP, I can use it on the heavy infantryman and eliminate the heavy infantryman. Anyway, let's see what he did here. He went for the skeleton, and luckily for me, there were no hits, and this has suddenly turned from a situation where I am trying to convert material losses into positional advantage. This has just basically materialized, no pun intended, and now I am in the better position. I just have so many reinforcements coming, and this dark adept can hit the heavy infantryman, which is the best target. So he's going for the bat. So 1 unit wasted time there. It killed a meaningless bat, and he is choosing to come towards the village rather than going around. But it's just, I mean, these units here, I mean, we are fighting far away from the white mage in the middle of the night, right? So philosophically I am at an advantage, right? Plus these shields, even if they are on 40%, they won't die. The only unit that can deal real damage here during nighttime is the heavy infantryman, and this is exactly what I will be focusing on now. And let me see if he... okay, he's bringing more units here, he's realizing. Plus this bat kind of keeps the white mage on its toes. It keeps him locked to his keep, trying to protect this village. So 1, 2, 3, 4 units here. Probably at this point I should have recruited, let me see, I have 20 gold, I should have recruited another unit on this side. Not sure whether I did it or not, but this is really important. Going there, you see, 5 times 3, 15, that is an insane amount of damage against a heavy infantryman with low health pool, right? So hit twice there. Luckily, if I did not hit twice, I would have used the skeleton in the end, but now I can use the skeleton on the spearman, and that again will deal tremendous damage. Now it might seem, oh, it's 3 versus 5, you were kind of lucky. No, I wasn't, because I have backup, so I am basically suddenly 5 units here, and no matter what unit he touches, so you know, what unit can he touch? He can only go for the Dark Adept realistically, because if he touches a skeleton, that unit dies, because there are 4 skeletons in range of it, and he won't kill the skeleton. Whatever skeleton he goes for, he won't kill it, and this will turn in such a muddy game here, far away from his white mage, where we exchange units, but I feel because of the time of day, I'm on the winning end of it. Anyway, so talking about luck, yes, I was a bit lucky. So you see, plus 20% inflicted, minus 29% taken, but these are quite low at this point, so they will adjust. As far as I remember, it was an even random number generator game. And now recruiting another ghost. Why? Because it was my perception that he was stretched thin, or he was going to be stretched thin. Units going to be exchanged here. He's going to be migrating most of his units towards the left flank. He will leave the right flank uncovered if he does choose to go with the white mage a bit more towards the middle of the map to help. Then this particular village will be left without cover, and then the ghost can really capitalize on it from this middle pawn here. It could go either on this village, on the village closest to the keep. Playing around with the bat here, staying outside the fences reach, and let's see how, what is he doing? He's going for the adept. I don't blame him. Similarly, how I went for the heavy infantryman, he is going for the adept. He's having some issues here with the fencer, not hitting enough. And here, if you see, taken, no, inflicted minus 60%, 15 out of 18. That's pretty much no luck. And he can't really kill the adept. He's going to go for it, but he can't kill it. And suddenly now 1, 2, 3, 4 units versus 5 skeletons that deal their full damage. So this is the positional advantage that I was talking about. And what did I lose for it? I lost a bat. He had already lost a heavy infantryman. And this white mage, as you can see, he can't do anything yet. So, and now the bat can finally get this village, and this is really painful, and this must be done is really effective. So I believe this is one of the first moves that I am doing. So clear the spearman with 1 unit. There's no reason for me to go back. Even if I lose this adept, no problem. I should be dealing damage. It's my power phase. I'm far away from this white mage. I should be going full on to his unit. So even putting this in water, not sure that is the best of ideas. But again, skeletons do have high resistance, and I did want to have 1 more slot on this fencer in case he decided to dodge a bit more than usual. Now here I could either protect Dark Adept, or I could do a middle of the road approach where I protect the adept and also deal damage here, or I could go simply for, again, more aggressive positioning, dealing damage to the weaker cav and pushing myself really close to the village. And this is exactly what I'm doing, because I'm sort of controlling this cavalryman as well. So basically I'm dealing damage to the weaker cav, forcing him out of the battle, and I am investing basically in more experience stemming from this other cav. And look, reinforcements are pouring in while... Okay, never mind, I went for this cav because I wanted to secure the kill, I guess. I don't care about this one, makes more sense, to be honest. This one is a zone of control, put more pressure on this one rather than the other one. who can run away. So again, as you can see, I don't remember too much of this game. Now this bat is feral, so he has 50% defense now, so arguably it would be easier for my opponent to kill the bat. However, I mean, looking at the cavalryman damage, he should be able to survive. At least this was my thought process. And then I was thinking, he's going to go back, he's going to attack the bat is going to survive, the bat then can run away, and then this skeleton can pin really these two villages. And this is sorry, this is exactly what I did as far as I remember. Now this was, I don't know, it was okay, because again, philosophically, you have the cheaper units, right? He does need to recruit mages, he does need to recruit heavy infantrymen if you do recruit too many archers, he does need to recruit cavs, so if you could swarm with archers on both sides, philosophically is correct. In most games this would be a good move. However, I feel here I should have continued to reinforce. He was at the breaking point here. The reason why I didn't reinforce is because this white mage again can deal tremendous damage, and I thought if this white mage is going to be really lucky, I would have to pull back. So well, he doesn't even need to be really lucky, he's just killing you in 2 out of 3, and he has magic damage, so he's just going to kill 1 turn 1 unit. So yeah, I thought, okay, if he's going to really commit with this white mage, I do want to be able to attack where the white mage is not. And I thought a skeleton on 50% with its resistances will be able to survive for a very long time. I don't understand why I didn't push this skeleton forward. That was a mistake. That was a mistake which I'm realizing now. I mean, you saw it had movement points. That was a mistake. I guess we're all humans, we make mistakes, but imagine the skeleton being here, then the skeleton could have gone. I had full vision, I had no excuse. The vampire bat had full vision of everything, but I guess this made the game more interesting, the fact that I forgot here. Or perhaps I was scared of the prospect of a run-by, so I was scared that the cavalryman would run around. But if the cavalryman ran around, I would have been able to help out with Ghost, I would have been able to recruit another skeleton archer, I would have been able to zone of control him and kill him eventually. So if we exchanged villages, it's easier for me to kill a cavalryman on this village, which is relatively close to my keep, rather than him killing a skeleton on this village, which is really far away. So from this perspective, I should have moved forward with the skeleton, and I should have grabbed this village now. So yeah, that was really my mistake. Again, live and learn. 3 out of 3, so he gets a lucky break. So I was lucky here with the heavy infantryman not hitting my archer. I mean, as you can see, my units are pretty much unscathed, so imagine a hit from the heavy infantryman here, so it would have looked a bit more dire for me, right? So he would have had a chance now to perhaps kill a skeleton. So yeah, it does matter, the fact that he got 0 out of 2, so it matters a lot. Similarly to how it matters here that he got 3 out of 3. I was expecting the bat will survive, then the bat will go back and get this village, and then I will push my skeleton forward, and then he would have a choice. Do I go for the bat? If he went for the bat and did kill it, then the skeleton would grab this village, and this village would still be claimed by me. So I had all these scenarios in mind, which made this play, I would say, acceptable, though as we discussed, it's not optimal. So yeah, anyway, this is basically a breath of fresh air for him. He needed that badly. Anyway, so game gets really interesting and complicated because I've lost both my bats, and this time I've lost the bat without any positional advantage, simply because I should have had the skeleton here to capitalize on my positional advantage. That was my mistake. I never thought of it as me risking the bat, but from this perspective, considering he had a chance to kill, even if the probability was really low, I should have basically said, I want an aggressive position, go kill the bat, I will take this village, which is a very strategic village. Anyway, so game has become really interesting due to this random number generator roll, and now my skeleton is in water. 3 out of 3 there. It's hitting quite well on my skeleton archer. As you can see, calves and spearmen, they can kill you. Three units killed a skeleton archer with its resistances, right? So you can die really easily as Undead versus Loyalist. He does not necessarily need heavy infantrymen and mages. From this perspective, that's why I said perhaps I would have liked one more cav. Mage waltzing in, he's really confident now. Why? Because this bat died. It was such a pain for him, and now he's going to recruit a unit. Why? Because that unit needs to get this village, and this cav needs to get this village, and he will be fine. Losing villages at this point would be absolutely catastrophic, and of course one more cav, really difficult for the skeleton to deal with that. These 3 units can kill a skeleton relatively easily, believe it or not, and the white mage is here, so now I have several options. Let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. However, these 2 units are almost dying. Plus, these units, they also deal a lot of damage. They are quite tanky. Well, this one is almost dying, so it doesn't matter. But in the long term, right, they are quite tanky. They deal quite a lot of damage, and they are also quite mobile. They can reach me from far away. Therefore, I do need to kill them. So. Plus I would leave a lot of shields forward, right? So 3 shields, only 2 adepts, one of which is almost dying. So imagine me killing these 2 units. You'll have 3 level 1 units to kill 5 units. It would be too much. He won't be able to split his forces optimally, so he would have to use the white mage in order to deal more damage. However, if he uses the white mage, then he delays his recruiting by 3 turns. So he's not recruiting this turn, he's going forward, then the next turn he'll go back. So 1 turn, 2nd turn he'll go back, 3rd turn he will recruit. And you might say, yeah, he would be banking, and yeah, but if this exchange keeps on going and I suddenly start, for example, to convert units into walking corpses, then he will have to keep using his white mage, delay recruiting even further. At one point he will be overrun, because I have here a sneaky ghost ready to grab villages and do really painful shenanigans for my green opponent. So from this perspective, it is a white mage here, but does he really want to recruit, to delay recruiting at dawn? So he would recruit units that reach their power phase immediately, and then he would delay and he would be recruiting at dusk. Not a really good idea. So from this perspective, I'm not that impressed with this white mage. Always take into account what would happen, for how long does the enemy leader delay recruiting, right? So this is too late there with the skeleton, I feel, and this simply because I wasn't aggressive with the skeleton. This has again less of an impact. This is only doing me the following disservice. This particular skeleton archer basically means that I have less units to send on the left flank. So yeah, another mistake, but that is making the game more balanced, I guess, and more interesting. Here, 2 out of 3, I would say, standard, and here I was hoping for 2 out of 3. I didn't get that, so I kind of needed to further commit. So here I only had 2 adepts, and I had to use them, so I didn't care that this dark adept is going to die. I needed to eliminate those calves. Those calves are really the bane of Undead. without the calves, mobility is pretty much similar, and I could retreat, I could come back, attack. But with calves, I can't really retreat. The calves will catch on to me and destroy me. So now he has no calves on this flank. It means I can retreat safely. Of course, I'm right next to him. So retreat is not on my mind. He can kill this adept relatively easily. But let's say he kills this adept. Then what does he do? Because these two units are not enough to kill any other unit. Wow. The mage can kill the skeleton relatively easily. We're going to see. So I killed 2 calves. He kills in return. Well, he needs to use a second unit for the skeleton. That's what I'm saying. Second unit for the skeleton. Now, if he does go with the spearman forward, yes, he kills an adept. So he for 2 calves that I killed, I would lose 2 units. But then he would lose a village, and I could do some target practice on this spearman, perhaps convert him with a walking corpse. It's a very bad positioning here. Yes, he will get an adept, he will get material advantage out of it, but then I will get a village. Even if I don't kill the spearman, I'll get a village. Probably I'll get the chance to convert this spearman to a walking corpse, which is a much stronger strategic advantage than killing an adept. Sure, it looks very dangerous because it's about to level up, but will he go for it? He doesn't, as you can see. He doesn't want to seize control of the village. Had he pushed his spearman forward, he would have had to grab the village with the white mage, or perhaps went for with the white mage for the skeleton archer. That would have been one way to play it. But if it did go with a white mage for the skeleton archer, my ghost would have been absolutely... the ghost would have hurt. The ghost would have taken this village. Then this skeleton would have either been zone of controlled by these 2 units, or if not, if these 2 units would have gotten villages, and the skeleton would have also pushed in, adding to more pressure. And with this extra village, I would have kept reinforcing here, and you know, there's that many kills that the white mage can accrue before he is overrun. Okay, it seems the mic is really sensitive, so you guys can hear. I should probably look at some filters whenever let's see, I'm not sure if you can hear this. I'm typing on my keyboard, even if I'm moving my mouse a bit. You know, okay, I'm not sure. Probably you can hear this, so not sure how to adjust this sensitivity or what to do about it, because the microphone is latched onto my desk. So whenever the mouse moves on my desk or I touch the keyboard, I guess you guys feel a bit of disturbances. Anyway, we will see how this all looks in the end. Okay, so let's see here. His zone of controls my skeleton, and as you can see, my skeleton is already orange, right? And he goes back and recruits another cav. As you can see, I put a lot of price on these calves. I consider them really important. I prioritize killing them first. So yeah, he needs to replace them. And more archers. 28, I would say archer. That would be, at least in theory, a great move. Getting here the village with the ghost, really painful, but luckily for him, because he did not commit with the white mage, he can recruit a mage here, and that's end of story for my ghost. That's the... If I had a bat, probably I would have kept him there, because, you know, losing a bat, not a problem. However, losing a ghost, not worth it. I would have had to retreat my ghost. 2 skeletons here, reinforcing this side where it's going relatively okay for me. Remember, 2 of these units lost were bats, so level 0s, really cheap. Okay, I'm putting here the walking corpse forward for obvious reasons. If he does want to go for this skeleton archer, he will need to get here on 40% and get another unit in water. He will need to get the skeleton defenser in water. So this is what I'm trying to trigger here. I mean, if I lose the adept or if I lose the skeleton archer, I prefer, I mean, obviously shield first, because the skeleton archer will deal some retaliation damage to the mage. Mage is the most important unit, so with retaliation damage from this skeleton archer and with this walking corpse, I should be able to be absolutely fine. I'm outside the range of the cavalryman, so I don't think he will attack into this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units. 3 versus 6, that's not going to end pretty, even if it's morning. So let's see here. Oh, I rearranged this. I changed my mind simply because I said fencer on water. As you can see here, because of the statue, it's quite well hidden. Anyway, let us proceed. And I said if they come here on this particular terrain, they will be more exposed, right? I have more surface area to attack into them. Really lucky from my side. However, the skeleton is not that lucky, as you can see. Died to calves and spearmen. He really wanted to kill that walking corpse, so I don't start converting his whole army. So now if you think about it, this fencer could die from 3 slots. It's not unheard of, especially since I have 2 magic damage dealers, and this is what I tried to achieve here. As you can see, dealing damage with absolutely everything I have. I don't really care about the skeleton archer. I do care about this one because it does have a lot of experience and a lot of hit points. So I'm saying you have 3 shields here. Sure, attack them, but attack them, right? Attack them, and then it will be night again, and well, dusk, and then I will be able to capitalize on this. Remember, he will be attacking at dusk. I need 2 out of 2 here. I need 2 out of 2, and I don't get it. And this would have been probably a good game if I got that kill there, which I didn't. Again, putting my ghost here. That is, again, it's a bait. The white mage can reach it, but if the white mage goes for it, remember he is delaying his recruit by 3 turns. Now you might say, well Alex, it's night anyway, so there's no point for him to recruit, his units are quite weak. You might be right, but at the same time you look at my units, they are quite weak here. Also, if the white mage was on this side, let's say the white mage recruited, I don't know, 1 more fencer, right, and then pushed forward, I would have been very reluctant, considering how hurt my units were. I would have been very reluctant to get this village. But since the white mage, if the white mage goes for my ghost, then it means that I will have absolutely no issues grabbing this village, putting a lot of pressure on this village, really gaining a lot of momentum, a lot of positional advantage. I will have a very aggressive position, getting 2 villages, healing my units in those villages, and really pushing the Loyalist back. Sure, I lose a ghost for it, which is a big price to pay, but remember the ghost got the village for 1-2 turns, the bat got the village for 1-2 turns, so I kind of got my money back for the ghosts and the bats, right? So it's a big price to pay, but I would say it's worth it, right? So this was my thought process there, and let's see what he did. Wow, that was my risk. He killed it, but now he's going to lose the fencer. So I don't see it reckless, right? Matto said it's reckless what I did. I shouldn't have gone for the fencer. Well, I have to disagree, right? Because as long as we're exchanging units, and as long as I'm preventing him from building a critical mass of units with which he could defend this village, right? Then I can get the village, I can put pressure. He has to do this scrappy play, half of the units here, half of the units in there. Because he overcompensated on this side now, and now basically I'm making gains on the other side. Well, actually he is ahead with 7 kills, but remember 2 of those kills were bats. And let's see what he did here. He went for the... He's going all in here. I don't agree with this. Even if I lose some units, if I exchange, then I would be basically unchallenged on this side. Okay, so 1 hit point. Will he go for it with the mage? He should. So basically now he has committed all 4 units. And 4 versus 4. Well, this one is almost dead, right? So they should all die, to be honest. And there it is. He goes for the ghost. So no reinforcements coming. It's just these 4 units. Imagine them having the white mage to back them up. I would have thought twice here before going too aggressive. Or perhaps not, because if you think about it, if the white mage came here, look at this area, it's just so far. I'm fighting again far away from the Loyalist keep, which is exactly what I should be doing. So let's see here. Obviously I went for the fencer first, and then, so in terms of kills and losses, he still has the 2 bats ahead of me, but look, I have 4 units versus nothing coming. It's too early to go for the mage, because the mage would have done tons of damage. So instead I went for the cav, short damage. So basically now he has nothing to place on this village, and he can't really fight here because reinforcements are coming. Now these 2 archers here are keeping 3 units. Interested. 4-ish, I guess, but I would say it's fine having 2 archers here, considering his investment on this side. And yeah, one more adept, 3 shields, 3 adepts. Good mix to have, especially considering that well, most of his units have died. So if you have numerical superiority on one flank, adepts are really good. Okay, so let's see what he did here. He put the mage on the village, which I don't agree with. And as you can see, 1, 2, 3. I'm not going to be scared by 3 units. So I'm going there. I'm going for the mage. I don't care. I guess it could have gone either way. But I did not get my hits last time. I got them this time. And now it's basically 9-8, me getting a village and pushing these archers forward. It's first watch. I mean, this is so good. Normally you want to be here at so it's like you barely get a unit here, right? So I got the village, I pushed these units forward. I'm doing what I was supposed to be doing in terms of the dynamics of the game between Loyalist and Undead. And sure, yeah, he can recruit a lot now, yes, but these units will be out of position, right? So 3 units, but you know, he has to be defensive. He can't really push them forward. You see, for example, this heavy infantryman can't really reach this village. So I can make this wall here with 3 units, and sure, he can go for it, but I will basically exchange all these units, and I do have a Dark Adept which is about to level up. So 4 units versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 versus 6, but I do have a 6th unit coming. Yeah, I'd say it's pretty even here, but if he does attack me, I would have the better position in this choke point here. It's like, look, I can hit him. For example, he could hit my adept only once, I could hit him twice. So from this perspective, I have the better position here. So if he does attack and misses, then remember all these, they deal at least these 3, they deal retaliatory damage. Again, this is the move I've been doing all game. Now I'm aggressive, but now he does have a lot of units to fight back here. He does have a cav, he does have a mage. This is what I should have done in the very beginning. Now he is quite well prepared to deal with these units here. However, if he does come on this front to deal with these units, he won't have enough units to deal with this lot here. So he has a choice to make, right? I'm trying to spread him thin, even if it's dawn, even if these units are going to die, they are skeletons. He's going to need some time to kill them. They're not just going to die immediately, right? So as long as I keep him occupied on this side, this particular side can retreat safely, can retreat in a calm, calculated manner. You know, don't simply run too far back. Make sure I maintain an aggressive position that I can capitalize on the next night cycle. Right, so this is again material versus positional advantage. These are going to die, however I'm getting a better position on the left flank, and losses and kills are quite even at the moment. So there it is, he goes for the bait. So 3 units here busy, and now he just does not have the firepower, right? With this mage here, it's a bit scarier. Now there's only 1 mage, and if I start suiciding everything on the white mage, that's the only drawback of the white mage. He is so good at eliminating undead that I can use all my archers onto the white mage, and the white mage will clear them all. So even if I have 1 slot, one archer will deal some damage, the other archer some damage, the other archer some damage, and then an adept to clean house, and the white mage leader is dead. Anyway, with this heavy infantryman in range and with the white mage in range, I would just lose too many units to be able to do that. So plus it is dawn, so it's time for me to retreat. And as you can see, I'm putting my advancing adept as part of the wall. I'm basically telling him, look, first of all, I'm avoiding the heavy infantrymen, and it's easy to avoid. As you could see, all these units, all this group of units, which is more difficult to manage than 1 single heavy infantryman, they all manage to run away from him. That's the problem with heavy infantrymen, right? So I'm avoiding the heavy infantryman. Also, I'm avoiding the white mage. These units don't matter that much, plus they can't really kill the Dark Adept in 1 attack. Therefore, the Dark Adept is going to die. I mean, it's not going to die, it's going to advance, and then he will only have 2 slots on a level 2 unit, and I would have increased damage onto his unit, right? So he's not going to attack this Dark Adept, he's going to avoid it at all costs. Just feels a bit disheartening how quickly skeleton archers die during the day versus spearmen versus cavalrymen. You think that they have high resistance, but they just deal no damage during the day and then die really quickly. So let's see here, he went for the skeleton. Oh, that was me trying to prevent him from attacking this Dark Adept from two sides, right? But basically I gave him so much damage from one side. Not sure it was worth it. Of course, the Dark Adept, I computed it couldn't die, but still, just getting 27 damage at once, that was a bit painful. I would say, missing so here. This one hit 2 out of 3. Then imagine the Spearman coming, hitting 2 out of 3, because you know this can happen and ruin your whole strategy. So I said I prefer to get a lot of damage on water, but not die on the village. And now he's going to move forward with his white mage, and this is not a fight I want to take. I have to keep falling back. I can't fight the white mage. It's not like, oh yeah, take risks. No, that's not how you do it. Heavy infantrymen and white mage, ridiculous damage dealers. I need to stay away from them, right? So as you can see, heavy infantryman can't reach me, white mage can't reach me. I have backup here, and already this is starting to look in my favor, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, some of them are wounded, but as I was retreating, I retreated in a strong position, I dare say. Again, Dark Adept here, he does not want to attack it. So I retreated into a strong position. I got some reinforcements, and it matters a lot. The white mage is discouraged from continuing to advance, because then he won't be able to recruit in time. Heavy infantryman is not going to reach me this turn. If heavy infantryman is going to reach me, it is going to reach me during dusk. So already he has to, again, look how advanced I was. It's almost dusk, I mean it's afternoon, right? But his main units won't be able to attack me before dusk, so that's all I care. The main damage dealers, these, yeah, they are scary, but not that much. So let's see here. Again, I keep trying to do a run by here. I'm basically throwing my units into the meat grinder. I'm keeping him busy, but you know, sometimes I get a village out of it. It's a bit sad to watch, but at the same time, if I do get a village out of it, it pays for itself, because again, his left flank is weak. He needs to be stressed about losing his villages. He always have to keep he always has to keep units back to deal with these pesky run-bys. And also the fact that I keep doing it, it means that if in the future I stop doing it, he will always, you know, second guess itself. Is neki still trying to do these pesky run-bys with pillaging ghosts or not? Okay, yet another ghost. I haven't recruited ghosts, but he hasn't been recruiting mages since he lost his mage, so might as well recruit a ghost now and mix it with the army. It would be quite powerful if this white mage goes back. There goes my not yet apparently. 2 out of 3. 2 out of 4. Nothing there. Okay, and he went back for recruit. Now it's afternoon, but next turn, so I could continue to retreat, but continuing to retreat would mean seizing control of the initiative, right? I would basically give, and remember he has 2 calves. If he has so many calves, the solution is to kill the calves, because these are the ones who can retreat, who can switch quickly between retreat and attack. They are the counter-attacking units, right? You have to kill them, and then dusk will be here. It means that Loyalists lose their bonus damage, and then suddenly they have to take a decision. Oh, it's dusk. Do I deal like this last bit of damage and then end up in a really sticky situation, or do I go back? So considering that player 2, even if it's day now, considering that Loyalist has already used all his power phases. I believe it's time for me to push back, and as long I don't need to do much, as long as I can kill one cav, I say I'm fine. I think this group of units can kill one unit, this group of units can kill one unit, and then I'm absolutely golden. And remember, archers can deal damage to cavs without retaliation, so that's the only reason why I'm recruiting skeleton archers, right? 4 cavs. Sure, they are decent versus other units, but my main worry are cavs. I'm putting this Dark Adept back because he is converted into a level 2, so now suddenly now, see, I'm adding more pressure. Look, you are going to attack during dusk, and then you will have to deal with the Dark Sorcerer afterwards. Do you want that? Do you really want that? So yeah, I wanted to make sure I get the kill. I did not care if I lost the Adept, plus attacking this cavalryman, waste of time. I was not going to do it. I went for the spearman instead. Now the spearman has 7 hit points. The Dark Adept deals 8 damage, however the spearman deals 7 retaliation damage. Spearman is on 40%, spearman gets hit with 30%. Also Dark Adept hits first, so Dark Adept hitting with 70% chance of actually landing the hit, and then the spearman is retaliating versus 50%. So I did some damage calculation. The chance for the Dark Adept to survive was quite high, but look what happened here. This is really demoralizing, and it's really important to keep your calm, right? Remember, that will have died anyway. That will have died with this fencer, right? And this spearman is going to die anyway, so it's not the end of the world, right? It's definitely frustrating. I mean, I've been on both ends of this happening. I've been on the happy end, right, on the spearman end, but I've also been on the Dark Adepts end, like you saw right here. It's important when you are on the receiving end of this madness that you stay calm, right? It happens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm still at an advantage here, right? And remember, it's dusk, so time of day does not matter anymore. Plus, I can reinforce with ghosts. See, I agreed, Diggy going for my ghost was reckless, as you can see here with the bait, that material bait exchanged for positional advantage. So it's 7 versus 5 and ghost coming to reinforce. So this has been the theme of the day, the theme of the game, right? Me trying to lure Loyalist into fighting far away from this white mage, and Loyalist taking the bait, right? He took a bats first, then he took some juicy units here. This Dark Adept, perhaps, is he going to go for it? Really curious. He's going to go for the Dark Adept. It doesn't really matter. Even if he levels up his cavalryman, the cavalryman will die to whatever I have here, and the 16 experience will level up my unit, so he shouldn't go for it, to be honest. I mean, of course, here he has no choice. He goes back, so he does not want to risk it, because throwing all his units into the meat grinder would have been absolutely disastrous. I think he wanted to deal some damage here and then get the skeleton archer within 1 hit of dying, and then commit the heavy infantryman, but you saw what happened last time when he committed his heavy infantryman. Anyway, okay, yet another unit ready to level up, and now it's night. I'm attacking, so there's no reason for me not to pay attention to it and level it up. Now I'm putting all my shields forward. I do have a shaky shield, with only 19 HP. So basically at this point I'm saying it's exactly the same situation that was before here. I was basically saying, yeah, 7 versus 5 units, Dusk attack into it. If you don't deal enough damage, I mean, he would have had to deal tremendous amounts of damage to make it worth that attack. Then you have lost the game. I'm saying the same here. I'm basically saying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 units, one of which is level 2, versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units, one of which is level 2, and it's Dusk, it's not there anymore. Plus these deal lots of retaliation damage versus the ranged attacks. So I was saying basically you have to basically kill as much as possible, perhaps all these 3 units, and then in order to make this and level up your cavalrymen, or if you attack into this and you get a bit of bad luck, then you lose the game. So this is a really tough decision for him to make. Had he retreated, I would have gotten this village yet again. And remember, instead of being at first watch here, remember this is where I was at first watch, I would have been at first watch here. So yeah, tough decision for him to make. And more reinforcements coming. And now remember, it's night, so he took, well, the bait, he basically took the risk. He took the risk and he hit 2 out of 2, which made me a bit sad, to be honest. Anyway, however, I was lucky with the skeleton. Remember, this was, what, 3 out of 5, which is decent versus 40%. However, the way in which it happened was unfortunate for Diggy, right? Because he hit 2 out of 2 with the heavy infantryman and then missed 3 out of 3 with the cavalryman. So he basically committed the cavalryman and lost his chance of advancing the cavalryman. But he had the backup here with the fencer. However, the fencer, as you can see, versus 40% blade resistance at night, doesn't deal enough damage. So this one was basically 3 plus 4, 7, 7 plus 2, 9, so it was like 4 out of 9 hits. Anyway, but he still had a chance. So if he killed this skeleton archer, then he had a chance with the other fencer to kill this. However, killing just 2 skeleton archers, not enough if you ask me, simply because I do have a very strong slot here on the white mage, and I could have simply suicided 1, 2, 3 of my skeleton archers, perhaps suicided even the ghost, suicided even the dark adept. At one point I would have killed the white mage, but still it would have been a bit better. But he misses with the white mage, and this is basically good game because my line of shields somehow survived. And yeah, this is basically him losing the game right here. And now, just to show you here how you can, well, I basically died without dealing any damage. I tried again. I died again without dealing any damage. I don't know here why I should have ranged him, but yeah, anyway, again, yeah, at least I dealt some damage before dying. And yeah, you see, this is the risk when you are too good at countering undead as a white mage. The risk is that every single undead unit will suicide, and will eventually one of them will take you with them. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you liked it. This game versus Diggy, really interesting, and highlighting the idea again of sacrificing some material resources for positioning, positional advantage or momentum, depends how you want to describe it. And also, yeah, let me know about my new microphone. What could I improve? If anything, I will keep fiddling with the settings, and hopefully I should get it right. Anyway, I shall see you next time.